Today we'll start the chapter 16. Okay, we'll talk about the psychological disorders, the problems. Okay, so I'll share with you my PowerPoint. We will skip section 1, girls, and we will start with section 2, an anxiety disorder. Okay, it's page 455. Hello?
Yes, miss. Okay.
Okay, it's an anxiety disorder. Do you see my PowerPoint, girls?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What's in the book I wrote for you here in the PowerPoint, so it would be easier for all of us to share together. Who can read, please? I know it's morning and you've just waken up, but I need someone to read, please. Hello? No one? Yes, please read.
People suffering from anxiety disorders feel anxiety, but not just normal anxiety. They suffer from anxiety that is out of proportion to the situation provoking it. Intense anxiety may interfere with normal functioning in everyday life.
So please stop. So he says that we all face an anxiety. What is an anxiety, girls? When you worry too much. When you worry too much. So we do worry, okay? We face problems and we do worry. But the anxiety is when we worry more than normal. Okay, so this worrying will stop me or hinders me from normal functioning daily. Okay, it stops you. Continue. And anxiety disorders.
Anxiety disorders are the most common type of mental illness in the United States, affecting 19 million Americans annually. These disorders share certain characteristics, including feelings of anxiety and personal inadequacy, and an avoidance of dealing with problems. And people with anxiety disorders often have unrealistic images of themselves. People who are deeply anxious seem unable to free themselves of recurring worries and fears. Their emotional problems may be expressed in constant worrying, sudden mood swings, or a variety of physical symptoms, for example, headaches, sweatings, muscle tightness, weakness, and fatigue. Anxious people often have difficulty forming stable and satisfying relationships. Even though their behavior may be self-defeating and effective in solving problems, those driven by anxiety often refuse to give up. Chapter 16.
Okay, we will start chapter 16. Okay, so what does he want to say? He wants to say that there are some symptoms for an anxiety, for the people who suffer from an anxiety. What is an anxiety again? An anxiety is fear and worries. So what do they face? Those people who have an anxiety disorder, they face what? They face headaches, sweating, muscle tightness in the muscles, weakness and fatigue. Why? Because they worry too much. Okay, why they worry too much? Because they have unrealistic images of themselves. They think they cannot do it. They think they cannot do it. Okay, we will get into more deep details. So an anxiety disorder, a general state of dread, okay, or uneasiness that the person feels in response. Okay, girls, when you find lots of words like this in the slide, then it will be summarized in the next slide. Okay, so what is the definition of an anxiety disorder? A general state of dread, fear, or uneasiness. You cannot just take it easy, as we say, that a person feels in response to a real or imagined danger. Real or imagined. So he says that the fear can be real, could be real, that you really could fear something happening. And sometimes it is worse, you fear something not happening, imagined. What are the reasons? Because they have unrealistic images of themselves. And those people who are anxious all the time, they cannot free themselves of these worries and fears. They cannot fear themselves. They surrender to these. Have you ever heard someone say, don't surrender to your fear? Girls? Hello?
Yes, miss, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Their emotional problems may be expressed in constant worrying, sudden and mood swings. So one time they are good and they are laughing and talking, and in a minute, they swing their mood. So maybe they remember something that worries them. Maybe they remember a presentation they have to make. So they start to worry and their mood swings suddenly, goes from right to wrong, to left. Okay, and then they have difficulty forming stable and satisfying relationships. They cannot be in a relationship, either friends or family or husband or wife. They cannot be because they worry too much. So they can't have stable relationships. This is an anxiety disorder. Disorder when there is a problem. Disorder meaning it means a problem. And anxiety, as we said, is when you worry too much. Okay? Oh, who can read, please? Another one? Please, grade 12.
Miss, can you choose?
It's because I don't see the name list.
Because
They
I
are
don't
okay, please. Yes. Who's talking?
Jana.
Hi, Jana.
Hi,
Okay, have to start.
thank you. Generalized anxiety disorder. Once in a while, everyone feels nervous for reasons he or she cannot explain. But a severe anxious person almost always feels this way. Anxiety is a generalized apprehension, a vague feeling that one is in danger. This anxiety potentially could blossom into full-fledged panic attacks, which may include choking sensation, chest pain, dizziness, trembling, and hot flashes.
Okay, so what happens with those people who have an anxiety disorder? The author of the book warns you, he gives you a warning that if you leave yourself, if you surrender to an anxiety, if you surrender that you worry too much, if you leave yourself, it's okay, I just worry, nothing happens. He says no. You have to be aware that this anxiety potentially could blossom, could grow and change to what? To panic attacks. Attack. About any one of your any one of your friends or family that they suffer from panic attacks, girls? Grade 12.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
did you see someone who faces panic attack or just heard?
Um, في مرة I've faced a panic
You
attack.
faced it? So who's talking?
أمل.
Amal, what happened, dear Amal?
Yeah, you feel like your heart يعني rate هيك تحسي very very high like
Yes.
it will explode as if it will explode وهيك you feel very hot especially هيك in your back و وكمان feel nervous as if هيك like you're gonna face like a heart attack the whole time and you're gonna هيك feel nervous like for like about 10 minutes minimum وهي like هيك it comes in rates يعني في عالم بيحسوها كتير like strong في عالم لا yes and that's
It
the thing
happens to
we must
you. It happened to you once, one time, or more than one time?
actually it happens twice I guess
Oh.
like my whole life twice
As Amal said, that the feeling of panic attacks, you feel like choking sensation as if someone is choking you from your neck here, from here, and chest pain. Someone, like press your chest, as if someone is pressing your chest, pressing it. and dizziness, trembling, like shaking, and hot flashes, hot body, nausea is the dizziness, heart palpitation, the pulse of the heart. Okay, what is the main reason of panic attacks and anxiety? يعني these are steps. You start with an anxiety and then panic attacks. أمل حبيبتي, while I was searching for the pictures and this to make the PowerPoint presentation, there I found some slides that what to do after panic attacks, how to prevent panic attacks. So please, after we finish, go and just give a look. Yani they are pictures like this picture, but because we will next period we will talk more about panic attack. But till we go to the second period, I want you to give a look at them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then,
Thank you.
okay. Jana, continue reading, please.
Okay. Unlike fear, which is a reaction to real and
Identifiable.
Okay. Threats. Anxiety is a reaction to vague or imagined dangers. Same people experience a continuous generalized anxiety, fearing unknown and unforeseen circumstances. They are unable to make decisions or enjoy life. They may become so preoccupied with their internal problems that they neglect their social relationships. People who experience generalized anxiety have trouble dealing with their family and friends and fulfilling their responsibilities, and this adds to their anxiety. They are trapped in a vicious cycle.
Okay, what happens? So this is GAD symptoms, generalized anxiety disorder. As we said, disorder, it means that they're not organized. There is a problem. What happens? You fear of something. You are afraid of a test. You are afraid of a plane. You are afraid of anything happens, changing your home, changing your school, going to college. These are, as you took before, these are reasons to feel stressed. So these are reasons to feel like worry and fear. So it's okay. But anxiety is not unlike fear, not like fear. Okay, it's to vague or imagined danger. It's your reaction to a vague or imagined danger. What is vague or imagined danger? This topic or this changing school doesn't deserve all of that. So this is vague, and then you increase it. Okay, so some people experience continuous and generalized anxiety. They just can't stop it. Fearing unknown and unforeseen circumstances. They always expect something bad would happen, something bad would happen, something bad would happen. So when you keep thinking of something, okay, you do what you worry a lot, and you will start suffering from excessive anxiety and worry. You will be, for example, of course, you will be fatigued. You will feel that you are tired on whole body. Restlessness. Why? You cannot rest. When you fear something, you cannot rest. You cannot sleep well. When you cannot sleep well, you have difficulty sleeping. You feel what? Irritability. You are confused. Okay? Impaired concentration. Of course, you cannot concentrate well because you couldn't sleep well, because you are thinking all day long. And increased muscle aches. Your muscles, your body aches. Sometimes a woman goes to the doctor. She complains of her hands, for example. She says, my hand hurts me a lot. I just can't hold anything in my hand. My hand. When they make X-rays, when they make all the, everything they want to discover what is the reason for her hand pain, he suddenly says to her, nothing. You are 100% good. So she asks him, what is the reason for that pain? Then he says to her, it's stress or anxiety. So did it happen with any of you girls that your mother, your father, or herself went to a doctor and then he said to her, you don't have a clear reason for this pain? Maybe it is psychological.
Yes.
With who's talking?
Randa.
Yes, Randa. What happened here, Randa?
Miss, every time I feel like dying, I go to the doctor and they say it's just stress.
And really, you are stressed at the time?
Yes.
Yes. But you leave yourself to this point, yani. You keep stressing yourself till you find yourself, your whole body is aching.
Yes.
So when they say that, yes, you have to believe them, that the reason for this pain is psychological reason. You stress yourself too much, you worry too much, suffer too much. Okay, so he says for you that people, okay, who experience generalized anxiety, they have troubles dealing with their family, with friends, and fulfilling their responsibilities. So, and this will add to their anxiety. So they trap themselves in a vicious cycle. What happens in this cycle? They worry a lot. So they face problem solving any problem. So they feel like they have difficulties. So they have difficulties, then they have to worry. So they worry too much. So they face difficulties because they worry. So they cannot solve the problems. So they worry too much. So they are in a cycle. They cannot get out of the cycle. You know, when you get into a cycle, you just can't get out of it. You cannot break any side of it. So what to do? You have to stop yourself before you enter the cycle. And this is, yani, this chapter we will see all the disorders. The coming chapter we will see how to solve these orders. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is generalized anxiety disorder. Here, the experiences of generalized anxiety is accompanied by physical symptoms, like Randa said. So read it, Randa, please. Thank you, Jana.
The experiences of generalized anxiety is accompanied by physical symptoms such as muscular tension, inability to relax, a furrowed brow, strained face, poor appetite, indigestion, diarrhea, frequent urination, difficulty sleeping, wake up at night, feel tired in the morning.
Yes. A person who can sleep well will feel tired in the morning. He will spend all his day worrying and fearing what is going to happen. Like here, a woman, she cares about what? The job, money, the car, the germs. She's a parent, so she worries about her children, school, drugs, oh, her boyfriend or her husband. So all of this, when you keep thinking, and girls, it really happens to our life. When if you just sit down for 10 minutes with yourself and you try to figure out what are the things that stress you, will find a lot. I'm in grade 12. I have to get good marks for the college. What will happen when I go to college? Which college should I join? What if I failed in college? What if I stayed away from my family? What will happen to me if I am alone in a foreign country? All of these can, okay, are really reasons. They are really reasons to stress you. But just don't surrender to these thoughts. And thanks God, we are also Muslims, so we have, or even Christians, but I mean that we have a religion. We have a God. We are not those people who do not believe in God. They have nothing to depend on. They have no one to depend on or rely on. But we have our God. Okay? We have a God. So when you have a God, you can say to yourself, okay, I'll leave it to my God. You have to worry in order to work to stop this. If you worry about the marks, so it is a reason to encourage you to study, but don't make it a reason to cause an anxiety to you. Leave it. Just start from the beginning, girls. We cannot reach to a moment when we face generalized anxiety disorder, and then if we reach this point, it will be so hard to return back. So you are how old are you? 16 now or 17, girls?
17 years old.
17 years old. You are a little bit grown up, like 2 years or 3 years to be to a whole grown up. So start from the beginning. Okay? Yeah, when you feel yourself worrying too much, just stop these thoughts, and we will learn how. Okay? Why people are afraid, or scientists are afraid of generalized anxiety disorder? Because he says it means it can, when we read now, we'll understand more. What will happen? What will happen from generalized anxiety disorder? What will happen to us? Can anybody read, please? Thank you. Thank you, Randa. Anyone can read, please? Anyone? Amal? You read, Amal? Jana read, Randa. Who else read? Grade 12, please wake up. Huh?
I can read.
What's your name, dear?
Siham.
Siham. Okay, Siham, read, please.
Okay. Some theorists stress that.
Wait, sorry. I want to remove this, but I can't.
Okay. Some theorists stress the role of learning in producing anxiety. If a man feels very anxious on a date, for example, even the thought of another date make him nervous. So he learns to avoid having dates and therefore never has a chance to unlearn the anxiety. His anxiety may then generalize to another situations and become a worse problem. Other research suggests that anxiety disorders may be partly inherited.
Yes, wait a minute, Siham. So they say what that if there is a man and he is afraid of dates, going to a date with a woman in order to get married to her, or even get to know anyone. So he worries a lot of dates. So he stops going out to dates. So he did what? He avoided the problem. He didn't face the problem. So the anxiety will fade? No, it is still there, because he stopped himself. He prevented himself from facing the dates, going to dates. So he didn't solve the anxiety. Okay, continue.
Environmental factors such as unpredictable traumatic experiences in childhood may also predispose someone to developing an anxiety disorder. Such as disorder usually occurs following a major life change, such as getting a job or having a baby. The uncertainties of modern life also may help explain the high incidence of generalized anxiety. Try phobic disorder. When severe anxiety is focused on a particular object, activity, or situation that seems out of proportion to the readers involved, it is called a phobic disorder or phobia.
Yes, so this is what scientists want to, or doctors want to warn you about, that if you surrender to this anxiety, it will become a worse problem. It will increase and grow to a phobic disorder. What are the reasons for these? They say that maybe experience happened in childhood. For example, those children who used to be left alone. Of course, when they grow up, they will fear being left alone. Okay, and all psychological problems, girls, are partly inherited. It means that there is a gene responsible. Maybe the grandfather of you had a problem, so you get it. You inherited. Yani, God forbid, not you. Someone inherits. So they say that it's partly inherited. So he warns you from this anxiety, because this anxiety or fear of imagined events or problems can increase to be a phobic disorders, phobias. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. My PowerPoint. Here is it. So some causes for anxiety disorders, as we said, partly inherited. Environmental factors like unpredictable traumatic experiences in childhood. Something happened in your childhood and you keep it inside you, and you do not tell anyone about it, do not go to a psychiatrist, so it increases. And major life change, like marriage, like when most of women, they have post-traumatic traumas after they deliver a baby, they get into depression, postpartum depression. It's after you deliver your baby. They face the new challenges. The baby doesn't sleep all day. I am tired. I just can't control it. So they fall into um, I said it a second ago. I forgot it. Postpartum depression. It's after you deliver the baby. Postpartum depression. Leave your country to a new country. Okay. So then on page 457, he introduces some fears that you fear a particular object or fear a particular situation. You fear it a lot, so they transformed into a phobia. Do you know the meaning of phobia, girls? So anxiety is a vague generalized apprehension or feeling that one is in danger. You feel you're in danger. And anxiety, you are really in danger. But phobia, intense and irrational fear of particular object or situation. You fear something. People who are afraid of flights, afraid of cats, right? Have you heard about what are the phobias you've heard about, girls? What are kinds of phobias?
Claustrophobia.
Huh?
Claustrophobia.
Who's talking?
Siham.
Siham, you fear what? Closed spaces?
Close, yeah, sometimes. Not
Like
every
what?
time it occurs during like my life. Sometimes occurs, sometimes not.
Oh,
It's actually inherited, by the way. My families do.
they fear, for example, elevators?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not heights. Closed spaces,
Elevator is also closed, but
but not that much. Like when you're like very dark and something very close to you and tight.
uh, like a
Yeah.
cave, if you go and visit a cave or something.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
I have a phobia from elevators a lot, a lot, a lot.
Me
You
too.
fear elevators. Uh, what do you feel? How do you feel when you see an elevator?
uh, Miss, I guess whenever I go in an elevator, I just feel that it's going to close and it will not open. And it happened one time. Uh, مرة I was going through an elevator and when I reached the floor that I wanted to reach, um, it didn't open into a place where I can go out of the elevator. No, it opened هيك door.
Wall.
Yeah, for 5 seconds, and I felt in these 5 seconds I'm gonna die حرفيا.
Uh, so this is a situation happened to you in childhood that affects your
No,
feeling
actually,
for that.
and I have this. Sorry, I have this fear before this event, وكمان this event it increased a lot.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
It happens. Who else,
For
girls?
me, it was flights,
Elevators also?
elevators, seeing the space, like
Mm,
anything with
yes.
heights.
What's your name, dear?
Ranium,
Hmm?
Ranium.
Ranim. Yes. Who else, girls?
Me too. I
What's
have
your name?
claustrophobia.
What's your name?
Amal.
Amal. Yes, yeah, Amal.
Yes,
Also claustrophobia.
yes.
Yes. Who else, girls?
Me too. I have fear
What's
of elevators.
elevators? What's your name?
Afnan.
Afnan. Who two girls? Huh? Uh, there are lots of phobias that you will يعني, you may laugh when you hear some of them, but actually people really fear these things. If we say acarophobia is when you fear to be itchy. You cannot handle to be sit and there is a mosquito flying next to you, or a flight, or any not insects, not spiders, huh? Insects that will cause you itch. So you feel like I've been she bit me anywhere, it bit me anywhere. So and you keep scratching. And carophobia, fear of insects. Okay, and then we have acrophobia. Acrophobia is when you are afraid of heights. No one is afraid of heights, girls. Actually, I fear heights. يعني This picture, when I see it, I feel like my heart is not bumping well. Just seeing this picture, I feel like my knees also. My knees are not holding me, trembling, shaking. I feel like my soul is getting out of my body. I cannot go near to this wall at, not sitting like her. No, I can't even come near. I can't accept the idea that she is sitting like that. I fear heights. Who else, girls?
But do you travel easily, like through the plane?
Yes,
Do you suffer?
yes. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Previous year in the vacation, we went to Portugal and Spain. The road at Portugal is like on a mountain. So we were, my husband was driving a car, and I was on the road. Next to me, I couldn't see anything because it was like we are on the mountain, and everything was down. The houses, people, the sea, everything was down. I felt like I started to feel dizzy, started to sweat a lot, dizzy, sweat a lot. My heart beats faster than usual, and I started to cry. I was so afraid. I was so afraid. I couldn't. My husband wonders, what's happening to you? I said to him, don't blame me for my fear. When someone feels something, I cannot ask him, why are you afraid? This is not scary, because it is his own experience. He is afraid. I have to accept fear. So I kept crying for like 4 hours till I reached that place, to the other country. And when I reached this country, I was so afraid to move again to another country, because I know that I will face the same problem. And I insisted that he drives in the morning, or before it's getting dark. I can never forget this journey.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
a feeling that I am on the mountain and nothing is next to me. It it was, now when I remember, I feel worried. I felt like, okay, I'm dying now. This is time. This now I'm dying. It's better to die. So it will die and finish. But it was, I feared. I so I'm so afraid of heights. Even on pictures, some pictures I took. My husband took some pictures for me when we climbed, like because the north of Spain also it has lots of mountains. So I climbed some mountains, and then when he pictures me, I never go close to the how can I say, to the end of this, to the end. If there is a mountain and you stand on it, if I cannot step more, you
Mhm.
understand?
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
At the end of it, in order to look down or anything, no, and just stay away.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
so we have fear. This is aerophobia. Aerophobia is fear of flying.
Yes.
Who fears aerophobia, girls?
No, alhamdulillah, I don't.
You know, no one faces it, girls. Okay, and agoraphobia. People fear of entering open or crowded places.
Yeah.
Yes, did it happen with anyone? Like in Hajj, if you went to Hajj and was the time for tawaf, or anyone faced this agoraphobia? You cannot.
Miss,
Uh,
I don't fear crowded places, but I hate it.
you
ما
hate.
بعرف إذا هاد phobia.
Yes, yes. Then we have telephobia, to fear imperfection. I always feel that I am fat. Okay, I always feel that I am, no, I am too thin. I am too fat. I'm not perfect. I'm not pretty. I'm not excellent. I'm not fulfilling my job. I'm not fulfilling my career. I'm not studying well. I'm not. This is fear of imperfection. I got 99 out of 100, and then you start crying. Fear of imperfection is a telephobia. Okay, like as you see in the picture, a thin girl, she looks in the mirror, she finds herself fat. She sees herself fat. Then we have autophobia. Autophobia is the fear of being left alone. I don't want to be alone. I cannot stay home alone. I have to be with anyone. I cannot go shopping alone. I cannot stay home alone. I cannot work alone. I need always to be combined with people, by people. Then Agoraphobia, you have fear of being ridiculed. If I talk, they will make fun of me. Especially it happens in classes. A girl is desperate to ask a question. She doesn't understand this part, but she wants to understand, but she fears if she asks, her friends will laugh at her. Oh, how come she doesn't know this information? How come she didn't study? How come this is a silly question? So they don't ask. They don't participate. They don't talk. They don't say their opinion about any topic, because their opinion, they fear that if they declare their opinion, that people will laugh at them, ridicule them, make fun of them, bully them. And fear of small spaces, claustrophobia. Here, this. I also fear small spaces. You know, when you, this is MRI. Do you know the MRI? It is like X-ray, but you go inside a long tube. X-ray, but in a tube. You go in this tube, and this tube takes you inside a machine, and it is closed. Do you know it, girls? Have you ever seen it in hospitals?
No,
Yes.
X-rays.
we know about MRI.
No.
I used to call it a coffin. Yeah, I
Yes,
made
I
it.
know someone.
Oh.
I know someone who like experienced the MRI and couldn't face it. Yani she
Yes,
like screamed the whole time and she said, "I can't do it." You know,
yes,
yani, give me another
yes,
way to do this. I
yeah,
can't.
yes. I have a friend of mine too, and I've been through it many times. But the first ever time I tried it, I was like 22 years old, and I said to myself, okay, I will say Quran. I forget al-Fatiha. I forgot al-Fatiha. I couldn't, wallahi, I couldn't remember al-Fatiha that we say every time, 5 times a day. I forgot it. I couldn't. I was so afraid. I used to call it a coffin. Okay.
Yes, it's literally like a cough.
Yes. I feel like I'm trapped. I will not go out of it.
Yes.
Then, felinophobia. Felinophobia is when you fear cats. There are some people who can accept a dog, but they cannot accept a cat. They fear cats. So he says in the picture, this is a little kitten, but he thinks that it is bigger than him. Okay. The last two, because of time, we have the hemophobia, fear of blood. If you watch it in a movie or anything, if anyone gets hurt, another one falls on the floor because he just faints when he sees blood. People cannot go be a doctor or anything because they fear the idea of seeing blood. And this is, you might think it is funny. There are people who fear computers. Logizomechanophobia. Logizomechanophobia. And then there was zoophobia. Zoophobia when you fear animals. Here at the end. Zoophobia when you fear animals. Okay, girls? I will upload for you the PowerPoint presentation, and I will upload for you the class. Okay? Do you have any questions, girls?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Inshallah.
Bye, girls.
Bye.
Did you enjoy the lesson today?
Yes.
You somehow
Yes.
find
Yes.
it so related to your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, have fun, girls. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye, girls. Bye. Have